Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sina Gold. If today is your first time, please kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And today we are going to be making a frock neck gown. So it's as easy as anything. So we'll start first of all by drafting our basic bodies. So I'll start with drafting my shoulder to waist. The shoulder to waist for this person is 19 inches for the front and 18 inches for the back. So I'll just mark my 19 inches first. So after doing that, I'll cut out. Then I'll get the middle part. This is just me trying to demarcate my fabric for front and the back. So the first thing I'll be doing is to reduce the back of this pattern by 1 inch, which is the shoulder to waist for the back 18 inches. So now when I reduce it, I have my 18 inches. So this part does not count anymore. So the next thing I'll do, the shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 gives me 8. And I'll do the same thing for the back. I'll mark my 8 inches. I would mark my shoulder slope of 1 inch and my shoulder slope of 1 inch. After doing that, I'll get my basic neck of 3 inches by 3 inches, and then I'll connect it and then connect to the shoulder slope. I'll come to this part. I'll mark my 3 inches by 1 and then I'll connect it. After doing that, the armhole depth I'm working with is an armhole depth of 9 inches. I'll mark that for the front and I'll go ahead to mark the same thing for the back. Then you mark the 8 inches here and connect it to the shoulder tip, and then mark the 8 inches here and connect it to the shoulder tip. After doing that, the next thing I'll be doing is to mark my chest line measurement. Let me connect my shoulder slope for the back. I'm working with a bust of 46 divided by 4 gives me 11.5. So I'll be marking 11.5 here, and I'll be marking 11.5 at the back too. Then I'll get the mid armhole, which is 4.5. Mid armhole for the back 4.5. I would go in by 0.25 here. I'll go in by 0.5 here, connect from the tip and connect from the armhole like this. I'll do the same thing like so here and connect the armhole here. So after doing that, the next thing I'll be doing is to insert my waist circumference. I'm working with a waist circumference of 38 inches. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. Plus I'll be taking 1 inch. Okay, let me just put the 9.5 first. Then plus my 1 inch that I'll be using for that's what I took here now, which is 10.5 in total. I would connect. I would do the same thing here, 10.5 plus my back tightening that I will take in, that is 11.5. So after doing that, I'll come to this back. I'll take 1 inch for my back tightening and connect it to the neck tip like so. After doing that, I'll still come to the center back itself and take in 4.5 for my dart intake, and then take half inch on both sides for my darts. Then I'll come to the front. I'll repeat same thing like so. I'll take 4.5, 4.5. Then I'll take half of an inch and half of an inch. Then I'll come to the shoulder, the starting line. I'll mark my shoulder to bust point, which is 11 inches. That is where I'll come down by half inch. That is where my dart should start from. Then I'll connect. After connecting, the shoulder to waist for front is 19. The shoulder to waist for back is 18. 19 minus 18 gives me 1. So I'll come to this bust point line, which is the shoulder to nipple line. I'll draw this straight line, and then I'll mark that 1 inch that is the remaining, and then connect it to this shoulder, to this bust point here. With that, we can say that the basic body is actually ready. Now we are going to be converting this basic body to a frock neck bustier gown. The first thing I'm going to be doing is to determine, this is the front, I'm working on the front first, is to determine how low I want it to be. So I'll be marking from this point. I'll be marking about say 5.5 inches. So this is 5.5 inches straight down. Yes, 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. So having gotten that, I'll be marking half of an inch here. Half of an inch immediately after the neck. I'll be marking half of an inch. Then I'll be coming down by say 6.5 inches at the center front part. Then I'll be marking 2.5 inches here, 2.5 inches here, and then I'll connect it like this, like so. Then this place that I came down by 5 inches, I would go from the main armhole line first of all, not the armhole we curved. I would minus 1.5 inches there. After minusing my 1.5 inches, I'll connect it to this point. So I'll run over it again. I came out here by 0.5. From this center front, I came inward by 2.5. Then I connected it. Then from the main armhole, not this armhole curve now, the main straight line you do first of all before the armhole curving, I'll mark from there 1.5 inch inward, and then I'll connect it here. After doing that, I'll blend it back into my armhole. After blending it into my armhole, I would convert this part to a bustier. From here, I'll come down by 1.5 and then connect it this way. Then I'll come down, sorry, that was a mistake. From here, I'll come down by half inch, connect it this way, and then come down by 1 inch or 1.5 inch, which I've done already, which is 1 inch. Then I'll go upward, I'll come outward a bit by 1 inch or 1.5 inch and blend it back into the armhole measurement. Now after doing this, I'm going to get the shoulder to under bust line. The shoulder to under bust is 15 inches. Then by this side, I would come in by 0.5 inch, and by this side I'll go in by 1.5 inch. So I'll connect this to this, and then I'll connect this to this, then go straight and go straight. So it means in total for this waist part I've minus about 2 inches. So I'll come towards the side and I'll mark 2 inches and connect back. If you don't have enough space to connect back, you can add up when you're cutting your fabric. So with this, we can say that the front part is ready. So let's cut the front part and then go to the back. So I'll first of all start by cutting the neck part. Then after cutting out the neck, I'll cut out this part. Then I'll cut out this part. They are no longer needed. Then I'll come down like this, cut this part out. This is the center front now. Then I'll cut this part. Then I'll close up this side, this bust dart here. After doing that, this is what I have for my front. So this is the frock neck, and this part we are going to be adding up when we are sewing. I'm going to show us the process of sewing. So let's go to the back. For the back, I really do not want it to have a tutu. I just want the back to be bare. So all I need to do is to mark about let's say I want it a little bit deep, so I'll mark 6 inches. So when I mark 6 inches, I would come to this side. I'll from this first shoulder line, not the curved one, I would mark in 1.5 inches, and then I'll blend it into my armhole. Not so curved, slightly curved. Then I'll come down by 1 inch and then connect it to my darts. After connecting it to my darts, I'll extend this armhole point by 1 inch and then blend it into the armhole too. And that's all for the back. Now if you want to give your back a curve or any shape you want, I think I should come down by extra 2 inches. That will make it a total of 8 inches. So I'll just give it a slight curve from this point, and then this is where it got to. I'll blend it back into my back tightening this way. So having completed this step, you can say that the back is ready and we can cut. So now this is the back we have, and this is the front we have. So after getting this done, the next thing we are going to do is to go ahead to cut the lower part of this before we cut to our fabric. Okay, so for the skirt, as we saw in the picture, it has a V shape and then the lower part has some pleatings there. So we'll just first of all start by drafting our basic skirt. Now for the skirt, the half length for the skirt is 14 inches. So I'll use waist to 14 inches or 14.5 for joining allowance. So I'll mark the 14.5 first. After marking the 14.5, Then I'll connect it. So these other ones are up. So after doing this, the next thing I'll do is to mark the waist measurement. The waist to hip is 8.5 inches, while the waist circumference is 38. And 38 divided by 4 gives me 9.5. So I would mark my 9.5 here. On the hip measurement I'm working with is actually 46. 46 divided by 4 gives us 11.5. But I'll be adding half of an inch here because I don't want this to be so fitted. I want it to have a little bit of ease. So I'll be making it a total of 12 inches. Then I'll connect it to the 12 inches. After connecting it to the 12 inches, I would now mark from waist to hip by this side. At this side, I will now mark about 10 inches because this is where I want the breaking point for this skirt to start from. So I'll connect it to the breaking point, and then at this part, which is the other breaking point, I'm going to now connect it to a straight line. So this is the shape the skirt is going to have. So I'll cut. So this is the skirt we have now. This will serve as the front and the back of the lower part of the gown. So the next thing we are going to do now is to go to the sewing aspect. So in the next video you're going to see me cut the fabric and then we'll sew together.